That's right. VR can also mean serious science, and researchers are using the technology to enhance their work in new ways. TechLive's Greg Lefebvre has more.
For many people, the phrase virtual reality brings to mind bulky glasses, holding a fake gun, and playing shoot-'em-up games at the local arcade.
But what we're looking at is an emerging set of alternate reality technologies. These include virtual reality, augmented reality, heightened reality.
Virtual reality opens up completely new ways of interacting with scientific data.
Ne sera plus jamais pareil maintenant. Grid Runners.
I mean, it's integrating all of these into one device. You can watch a movie in VR. You can watch it in the same quality, or go to space, go to Mars and visit. You know, you can do things in your lifetime that you'll never be able to.
Change the language, and you change the universe.
In order to produce images that are more or less photographs of the real world, we need large-scale, three-dimensional replicas of actually what is going on.
Researchers are blending databases and wireless technology to create a virtual factory.
Get ready. Give me your vibrations.
Information, please.
This is the factory of the future.
The current inlet pressure to the nozzles at 100 psi is very high.
Siemens Corporate Research is working on a way to make the entire plant intelligent.
One is the real image of the factory that you see here. By clicking on an object, you can actually get all the information on that object.
To allow powerful yet simple access, producers and users of geographic data and software are creating open interfaces among these varied data sources.
Very few teachers understand what even virtual reality is. They don't understand how to even go about doing it. There was a huge learning curve for me as a teacher.
Travelers on this digital Earth will roam space and time to discover information.
It needs your eyes. Virtual Boy. See it now in 3D.
This is the Virtual Boy, an electronic device released in the late 20th century by the Nintendo Corporation. At the time, many believed the future had arrived, but far from it. Although the idea was there, it would take another couple of decades for such technology to provide users the experience they hoped for. This is the Oculus Quest. At one time, during the release of this device to the public, people using it believed the future had finally arrived once again. Unlike this model's predecessor, one would no longer need to be connected to a computer. And although they could finally enter into another world and have a more interactive experience, the technology would still have much more room to evolve. For one, these pieces of equipment were large, sometimes heavy for the user. Over time, wearing these devices could prove to be uncomfortable, and for many, constant use could cause straining on the eyes, or even disorient users. Back in the days of smartphones, this commercial was for an augmented reality game that took the world by storm. All of this technology was the beginning of a new era for the human race. As the years went on, the technology did evolve. The equipment became smaller and smaller. The user could wear the device for longer periods, nearly an entire day, to eventually not needing to wear anything at all. So as the human race's demand for faster results in their civilization, this kind of technology would certainly provide them. Long gone were the days of gaming with clunky headsets and crude remotes. Now the technology was necessary for everyday life.
Hello there. I'm Lloyd Austin, Secretary of Defense. I wanted to speak to you today about the coronavirus and about how we can all chip in to defeat this pandemic once and for all. As you've probably seen,
I took these actions because working families deserve leaders who will do everything they can to support them during this time of crisis.
นี่เป็นตัวเลขผู้เสียชีวิตจากไวรัสโควิด -19 ในอิตาลีนะคะที่พุ่งสูงสุดอีกครั้งเมื่อวานนี้ค่ะโดยอยู่ที่
Our goal is to have 0 deaths for COVID-19. With that,
In the early 21st century, a global crisis occurred, a pandemic known as COVID-19. The impact of such a crisis forced many individuals, corporations, and government agencies to rethink the use of technology, especially those that involve the internet. While the pandemic triggered many disputes and even conflicts, especially politically, society at the time would begin to rethink their views on everyday life. Several lockdowns would happen and force many businesses to shut down. Many people were without employment, and others could work from home. Either way, the internet proved to be the most valuable asset during the crisis. Soon the social consequences of the pandemic would emerge, as this was a time when society was already distant yet close to one another at the same time, thanks to the current technology such as smartphones and social media. It would be this moment in human history that helped push human civilization further into another technological revolution. Mark Zuckerberg was the founder and CEO of Facebook at the time. The social media website was a haven for a variety of people, especially during the crisis, even to the point of sparking controversy. However, Zuckerberg would later announce the creation of the metaverse, a new way for people to engage with one another over the internet. However, this would be unlike the days of using a mouse and keyboard at a desktop. The concept was to use virtual reality and provide users to enter into a new world at will, something that had only been seen in movies. Soon the metaverse would provide people new ways of communication and interaction, enjoying entertainment, and even conducting business. The concept of the metaverse inspired others and corporations like Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, and others to aid in the construction of a virtual universe or create one of their own. In the first days of its infancy, companies were highly competitive and refused to share assets or collaborate on certain virtual projects. Even jumping from one virtual place to the other required the user to switch avatars. However, over time, these competing corporations banded together, and as the decades went on, more and more businesses and individuals would share in the success of the metaverse. Eventually, many of these companies would buy one another out and merge. And while everyone began to realize the success of this virtual universe, the ability to use fake objects and displays in the real world became more and more useful to everyone every day. Like the metaverse, joining together to ensure augmented reality would be an everyday tool for businesses and private use.
The City of Long Beach transformed downtown into an augmented reality exhibition. With a simple scan, visitors were taken to a virtual experience along the 3rd Street and the Promenade.
My mother speaks Mandarin, and I speak English, which is a strange thing.
他讲英文我可以听得懂，可是有时候我讲不来嘛。
We'd love to be able to share with you a new prototype we've been working on. You should be seeing what I'm saying, just transcribed for you in real time, kind of like subtitles for the world.
What we're working on is technology that enables us to break down language barriers, taking years of research and Google Translate and bringing that to classes.
Do you see me? Oh, sí te veo. I'm actually looking straight into your eyes, and it seems like you're looking right at me.
Making access to information just instant and intuitive.
So, with the internet evolving into a more personal and realistic experience, a global crisis, and technology getting smaller but more powerful, eventually human civilization would find themselves needing to not travel various distances to accomplish tasks and live their lives. Fast forward a few decades, and now AR and hologram technology was in nearly every home and business. People could control machines at various businesses through virtual reality and the internet, from the comfort of their own home. Even the military and law enforcement would now be in much safer hands thanks to this evolving technology. Eventually leading to further advancements in artificial intelligence. Which would also lead to severe consequences. During all of this, one man would use such technology to not only be the first of 3 to develop the most advanced weapon in human history, but would also transcend his own earthly and material existence. This has been our entry for today. If you wish to view other entries, please feel free to do so. Or please come back whenever you like. Thank you, and have a nice day.